program. Thank you so much, Mamta Sharma. If you want me to start the lecture immediately, I would like to start the presentation. Dr. Sharma,
Yes, ma'am.
should I start presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Okay. Hope my presentation is visible to all.
Yes.
Hello, Dr. Sharma.
Yes, ma'am. Your presentation is very well visible.
And my voice is also audible, clear?
Yes, very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. As Dr. Sharma has told a little bit about my resume, I would like to say that I'm very passionate for wildlife, and wherever there is wildlife, maybe I will also be seen around over there. Coming to this background of India, no need to explain to anyone because we know that India has a rich biodiversity and we have a good number of flora and fauna. But the only thing is that this human mankind is after it. And actually, what we see that this rich biodiversity is providing us the lively security. बट व्हाट वी आर सीइंग द ग्रोइंग पॉपुलेशन, जो पॉपुलेशन हमारी संख्या जो बढ़ती जा रही है तो हमारे डिमांड्स भी बढ़ते जा रहे हैं. बिकॉज ऑफ दिस डिमांड्स द नेचर इज नॉट एबल टू कॉम्पिटिट विथ अस, वी हैव टू से लाइक दैट. हमारा पॉपुलेशन इतना बढ़ रहा है कि नेचर जो है वो हमारे साथ नहीं दौड़ पा रहा है. We can see that India has a great treasure of natural wealth. And if we see from every corner of India, अगर हर कोना ऊपर से लेके जैसे हिमालय से लेके कन्याकुमारी देखें या इधर राजस्थान या वेस्टर्न जो रीजन है वहां से देकर ईस्टर्न तक देखें तो इंडिया इज फुल्ली कवर्ड विथ रिच बायोडाइवर्सिटी and the beautiful animals like tigers, elephants, lions, rhinoceros. We are very fortunate that we are having such good animals in India. We have a variety that leads to the rich biodiversity. बहुत अधिक संख्या में हमारे पास डाइवर्सिटी है. पेड़ों को देखें चाहे एनिमल्स को देखें, we see that we have good number of biodiversity, and equally if we see we have a good number of environmental factors, because अगर हम हिमालयास को देखते हैं तो बर्फीला इलाका है, अगर वेस्टर्न की तरफ देखें तो पूरा डेजर्ट वाला इलाका है, ईस्टर्न की तरफ देखें तो रिच ट्रॉपिकल डेंस फॉरेस्ट है, और साउथ नीचे की तरफ कोरोमंडल जो कोस्टल रीजन्स है. तो वी कैन सी दैट देयर आर नंबर ऑफ डिफरेंट environmental factors also which are regulating and which are leading to this variety of biodiversity. According to the Champion and State, we see that there are 200 types of forest found in this country, and this country has a mega diversity with more than 5,000 endemic species. And if we see in the range of forest cover, अगर हम फॉरेस्ट कवर देखते हैं इंडिया का तो अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस 2019 जो रिपोर्ट आई थी उसके अंदर देखें, और उसके बाद जो नेक्स्ट जो रिपोर्ट आई है 2021 में, वी सी दैट देयर इज इंक्रीज ऑफ 2261 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर. जो टोटल फॉरेस्ट और जो ट्री कवर है वो हमारा रेज हुआ है. तो इट्स गुड, it's giving a good sign that now we are going towards the sustainability, because we have to make a balancing act in between the nature, the environment and ourselves. अकॉर्डिंग टू द फॉरेस्ट सर्वे, जो भूपेंद्र यादव जो मिनिस्टर हैं हमारे यूनियन एनवायरमेंट मिनिस्टर, उन्होंने जब ये रिपोर्ट प्रस्तुत की थी, then we came to know that India has risen by 2,261 square kilometer in 2 years, as we can compare with the survey report of 2019. 2 साल में ही हमें ये अंतर दिखने को मिला है. And the maximum forest which was covered was in Andhra Pradesh. We can see in this picture, इंडिया का जो मैप आप देख रहे हैं, जो ऑलमोस्ट डार्क ग्रीन ब्लैक की तरह जो दिख रहा है, that is Andhra Pradesh. So we see that there are gains and there are losses also. गेन अगर आंध्र प्रदेश में बहुत ज्यादा हुआ है, तेलंगाना नेक्स्ट आता है, and Odisha, Karnataka, Jharkhand, we see that there are losses also, and those losses are from Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Nagaland. So what we see, ये जो आपका ईस्टर्न है, which is actually having tropical dense forest, वो डैमेज हो रहा है. So we have to find out, we have to know the reason, because from any community, if a few species are wiped out, उनको अगर हटाया जाता है, we see that that community will be lost. And as I have told, that India has a rich biodiversity. We have 10 biogeographical regions which we can see in India, and that those are Trans-Himalaya, Himalaya, desert, semi-arid, Western Ghats, Deccan Peninsula, Gangetic Plain, coast, Northeast islands. What we see, that when we are having such diverse environment from top to bottom, right to left, that is from north to south and from west to east. So according to this environment, we see that there are a number of huge diversity of animals which can be seen in India. Now, for example, now this first biogeographic area, Trans-Himalayan region. Here we can see a good population of this Tibetan Himalayan goat, Himalayan sheep, and this Himalayan blue, which are from the Tibetan plateau. Bharal, black-rocked crane, chiru, goat, all these belong to this Trans-Himalayan region, and we see that we have good diversity of this Himalayan region. But what we are seeing, they are also facing this Himalaya, from Himalaya, the snow leopard, panda, they are also facing huge problems because of human man-made factors which are impacting this environment. ये जो पर्यावरण जो बदलता जा रहा है, even now we can see, हम खुद फेस कर रहे हैं. We are in Rajasthan, but what we are seeing, इस टाइम पे तो हम ये कहते थे कि टेम्परेचर 47 चला गया, 48 चला गया, 49 चला गया. But what we are seeing these days, हम देख रहे हैं बारिश हो रही है, आंधी तूफान, तेज बारिश. We never saw such type of climate change during our past decades, if we see. What are the reasons for these changing factors? This is because of the human-made factors. Himalayas में अगर बर्फ पिघलती जा रही है, तो we see that the wildlife will be pushing from one area to other. अगर यहाँ पर बहुत ज्यादा गर्मी है तो वो ठंडे की तरफ जाएगा, और जो ठंडे में रहता है वो कहाँ जाएगा? तो they are slowly declining, the population is declining. Indian desert, we see that we have a good number of this Indian wildlife which is very endemic to this area, Indian bustard. If we talk about this Indian bustard, the signal are really very alarming, क्योंकि इनका पॉपुलेशन बहुत तेजी से घट रहा है, and the only population which are seen are in these areas. We don't have, even in Sorsan, which is very near to Kota. कोटा में सोरसन जो जगह है, 80s में यहाँ इंडियन बस्टर्ड्स थे, but now they are not present over this area. They are totally wiped out. Again, the reason are the factors which were not favorable for them. Although the government is bringing project to bring these Indian bustards to this area, but it will take time. सेमी एरिड जोन्स में हम ये फोर हॉर्न ब्लैक बक, एशियाटिक लायंस, टाइगर, लेपर्ड्स, जैकॉल्स, बहुत सारे हर्बीवोर्स हैं जैसे फोर हॉर्न एंटीलोप, सांबर, चीतल, स्पॉटेड डीर. So all this diversity is in this semi-arid zone in which quota also comes. Western Ghats, again, this is a beautiful mountain range which supports a good number of diversity. Among those, Nilgiri langur, tiger, leopard, Indian elephant, and this lion-tailed macaque are found over this. Grizzled squirrel and lion-tailed macaque are the endemic species found in this region. Deccan Peninsula covers much of the southern and southern central plateau with a predominantly deciduous vegetation. Now, in this Deccan Peninsula, we can see that Andhra Pradesh and Telangana comes. So they are improving their forest area. And if we see that the forest area is improving, definitely the animals may also be getting good support over there. Gangetic Plains, this area supports rhinoceros, hawk deer, swamp deer, and northeast India. Golden langur is endemic to this region. Coastal region. Now this suits our title. The title of this international short training program, in which we are having this title, Environment Pollution, a Threat to Life Below Water. Now this is the fauna which is most impacted by the factors, anthropogenic factors I should say. जो फैक्टर्स जो डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हैं, मुझे वो गाना याद आता है, ताल मिले नदी में और नदी मिले सागर में. तो व्हाट वी सी, पोल्यूशन पूरा का पूरा सागर की तरफ जा रहा है. So all the pollution is driving towards the ocean, and there the fauna is the most affected fauna, what we can see. And because of this, the corals, which are beautifully colored, they are becoming decolorized. Andaman and Nicobar, they have very good different diversity. So what we see that we have rich diversity, but the major causes which are declining this, and that is habitat loss, fragmentation, destruction. Habitat loss कई कारणों से हो रहा है. क्लाइमेट चेंज से हो रहा है, ओवर एक्सप्लॉयटेशन से हो रहा है, और जो हमारा अर्बनाइजेशन, इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन, ये सब जो हो रहे हैं, इन सब से वो इम्पैक्ट हो रहा है. So what we see that the most critical aspect of this wildlife conservation is wild habitat management. We have to look for better habitat management. क्योंकि habitat management जो है, it has 5 essential factors which will be supporting good to the wildlife. जो animals हैं, उनको support करने के लिए habitat management जो है, वो बहुत अच्छा होना चाहिए. The reason is that habitat loss is the aspect which is showing greatest threat to the wildlife. जो wildlife है उनके लिए सबसे बड़ा जो threat है वो है habitat loss. अब जो habitat management है, we know obvious, it is very obvious कि food और वाटर तो चाहिए ही जिंदा रहने के लिए, और शेल्टर भी चाहिए सारी जरूरतों के लिए, उनके रहने के लिए, दूसरे एनिमल्स से प्रोटेक्शन के लिए, फीडिंग, ब्रीडिंग, सब, रूस्टिंग, नेस्टिंग, सभी के लिए जो है उनको शेल्टर की आवश्यकता है. नाउ स्पेस भी जो है उन्हें इतना होना चाहिए that it should avoid ओवर कंपटीशन। अगर स्पेस छोटा है तो अगेन वी सी दैट देर विल बी कंपटीशन, इंटर और इंट्रा स्पीसीज का कंपटीशन हम देख सकते हैं। और कई एनिमल्स ऐसे हैं जिनको टेरिटरी की आवश्यकता होती है। एंड वेरी गुड एग्जांपल, बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजर्स दे आर फ्रॉम अलवर। तो सरिस्का में टाइगर्स है, यू ऑल नो दैट टाइगर्स हैव देयर ओन टेरिटरी। तो सिमिलरली देयर आर एनिमल्स हु हैव देयर ओन टेरिटरी। तो स्पेस इतना होना चाहिए कि वो अपना ओवर कंपटीशन भी नहीं हो और उन्हें अपना टेरिटरी भी बनाने के लिए पर्याप्त जगह मिल सके। Now, what we see that the wildlife population are suffering. There is decline because of the catastrophic collapse. कई सारे कंट्रीज में अगर हम देखें तो वर्ल्ड वाइड देखें तो 68% जो है वो इम्पैक्ट हम देख सकते हैं। वी कैन सी दैट whale sharks, they are coming down by 50%. African elephants, they are coming down by 60%. And rhinos, they are coming down by 63. African grey parrots देखें तो 98% they have come down. Now, if this happens, what's going next? According to the report suggested by WWF in 2018, they say that 3/4 of global wildlife population may be wiped out by 2030. We are now in 23, so there's no time left to see this 3/4 of the global wildlife population to be wiped out. But we don't want to see. There is a need for balancing act and to manage the carrying capacity. Best example we ourselves have seen, हमने खुद देखा है। लॉकडाउन एक ऐसा समय आया था जो हम नहीं चाहते कि दोबारा कभी ऐसी स्थिति आए। It was lockdown for people, but it was freedom for birds and animals. वो था हमारा ये जो कोविड का टाइम। There was lockdown throughout the areas. Each and every area was completely locked because of the disease which we don't want to listen again, and that was COVID. What we saw, जब सब कुछ बंद हो गया था, ऐसा लगा जैसे समय रुक गया हमारा। सारी गाड़ियां रुक गईं, सब अपने घरों में बंद रहे। The only positive thing which we could see was that there was drop in the pollution level. Pollution level बहुत ज्यादा कम हो गया था। The sky was clear, तारे नजर आने लगे, birds were happy, number of birds coming, the migratory birds, the non-migratory birds, population of each and every bird increased during this time. और जो नॉइस गाड़ियों के वजह से हुआ करता था, जिसमें बर्ड्स आपस में नहीं बात कर सकते, हम खुद नहीं बात कर सकते अगर हम ट्रैफिक में खड़े हैं। द बर्ड्स कुड कम्युनिकेट वेरी गुड एट दैट टाइम। जो मॉर्निंग में जो आवाज जो हम सुनते थे घरों में बैठ करके, चिड़ियों की चहचहाट, वो हमें उस समय ज्यादा सुनने को मिला। तो this is actually showing, giving us the example that if we want, we can reduce this pollution level, we can manage the habitat loss which is going to be faced by this wildlife, जो कि WWF ने कहा कि 3/4 खत्म होंगे, तो हम प्रयास कर सकते हैं, and there is a need to do it. But what we are seeing, कि the population is rising so fast and this urban population is increasing, that the urbanization is going towards the forest and the animals are being pushed away. अब जब वो पुश्ड अवे हो रहे हैं तो क्या देख रहे हैं, कैरिंग कैपेसिटी जितनी होनी चाहिए वो उन्हें नहीं मिल रही है। और व्हाट इज दिस कैरिंग कैपेसिटी, वो मतलब जिस जगह में रह रहे हैं एनिमल्स, पूरे वर्ष पर्याप्त मात्रा में उन्हें भोजन पानी सब कुछ मिले, बट दिस कैन चेंज। प्रति वर्ष जो है वो उनकी एनिमल्स की भी डिमांड बदल सकती है, क्योंकि एनवायरमेंट इज चेंजिंग, इट इज नॉट सिमिलर एवरी ईयर। एंड व्हाट वी सी द एग्जाम्पल इन रणथंबोर, कैरिंग कैपेसिटी जो है जितनी होनी चाहिए उतने टाइगर्स को वो वहां नहीं सपोर्ट कर पा रहे हैं। अगर हम 1600s से पहले की घटनाएं हम सुनते थे, कहानियां सुनते थे, तो ऐसा लगता था कि हमारे से ज्यादा शेर देखे जाते थे यहाँ पर। जो हमारे बूढ़े लोग थे वो जब भी कहानी सुनाते थे तो ऐसे कहते थे, शेर आया था, शेर गया था, रात को फिर जो है वो झोपड़ी के बाहर आ गया था। मतलब इतने ज्यादा संख्या में टाइगर्स हुआ करते थे। बट this was the alarming signal, and that was the figure of 1411. क्या है ये 1411? This is the population of the tigers which was given. टाइगर्स कम हो रहे हैं, इसके लिए टाइगर प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट हुआ था, और टाइगर प्रोजेक्ट के स्टार्ट होने के बाद संख्या अच्छी होने लगी। बट व्हाट हैपेंड, ऑल ऑफ अ सडन ये 1411 फिगर क्यों आ गया 2006 में? दैट वाज द अलार्मिंग सिग्नल विच स्ट्राइक्ड। और तब से जो है एनटीसीए जो है वो और सारे लोग जो काम कर रहे हैं इस क्षेत्र में, चाहे वो एनजीओस हो, गवर्नमेंट हो, सबका हर एक का प्रयास जो है, शायद वही प्रयास है या फेवरेबल कंडीशंस भी होते गए कि वी आर सीइंग दैट द एनिमल्स हैव दिस टाइगर्स, द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ टाइगर जो है वो बढ़ करके 2018 की जो रिपोर्ट आई थी WII की, उसमें 2967 टाइगर्स का होने का बताया है। So what we see that India has 70% of world's tiger, and that is why we are so fortunate कि टूरिस्ट जो हैं बाहर से, दूर दूर के कंट्री से जो है इस टाइगर को देखने के लिए आते हैं, एंड इनडायरेक्टली दे आर इकोनॉमिकली रेजिंग द फंड्स ऑफ इंडिया। नाउ व्हाट वी सी, 2019 में जो सेंसस का जो रिपोर्ट आई थी जिसमें 2967, दैट इज नियरली 3000 फिगर को टच कर लिया है। और अब हम देखें और भी बढ़ गया है। बट व्हाट इज द इम्पैक्ट नाउ वी आर सीइंग, क्योंकि कहीं भी किसी स्पेस में अगर पॉपुलेशन भी ज्यादा हो जाता है तो डेफिनेटली दे आर गोइंग टू फेस ओवर कंपटीशन। The same case is being seen in Ranthambore, and the question why tigers are quitting Ranthambore. The reason are, there are many number of reasons. 1:1.3 मेल फीमेल रेशियो है, 70 से भी ज्यादा जो है टाइगर पॉपुलेशन है, 30 फीमेल्स, 23 मेल्स, 19 cubs. Or this figure is highest recorded population since 1973. Now what we see that conflicts are being raised. Because of these conflicts, 13 full-grown tigers were reported to be missing between 2019 to 2021. क्यों हुए ये मिसिंग? क्या उन्हें जगह नहीं मिली? Whether it was territorial fight, whether it was the demand for food or water, जिस चीज के लिए भी उनको रिक्वायरमेंट थी, क्या उसके लिए वो डिस्पर्स होने लगे हैं? The reason, one of the reason was also that एडल्ट टाइगर्स इतनी अधिक संख्या में जो है वहां पर नहीं फिट हो सकते थे, तो देयर वाज अ डिमांड फॉर more tiger habitats. Now, because of this demand, now we are having, fortunately, Rajasthan is having tiger reserves after Ranthambore, Mukundra Tiger Reserve, recently Ramgarh Tiger Reserve, and now we are hearing that a next tiger reserve is going to be coming in Dholpur. And sorry, I missed Sariska. Since last 30 years, I'm working in this field, and I'm very passionate for the conservation of wildlife. That is the reason I always be seen in the field. Now, this Daras actually, it was like this when I was doing my PhD. After my PhD, rather, I should say, when this area was declared as national park and then tiger reserve, I saw that this was the difference which you all also can see. आप सब देख सकते हैं, जो ऊपर के जो चित्र हैं वो 2010 के हैं और ये नीचे वाले जो है 2018 के. तो व्हाट आई मीन टू से, अगर हम प्रयास करेंगे तो वहां के एरिया में बदलाव देख सकते हैं, क्योंकि अगर ह्यूमन इंटरफेरेंस रोक दिया है तो वहां अपने आप पनपेंगे फ्लोरा और फौना. द ओनली थिंग इज दैट वी हैव टू गिव देम द प्रॉपर हैबिटेट विच दे रिक्वायर so that they can fulfill all their requirements. Now, for this, we have to organize such programs which we are already participating. We need to make use of the media, write letters to the editors, newspapers, जहाँ गलत हो रहा है या आप अपने कोई suggestions या आप जो organize करते हैं programs या awareness programs, उन सब के बारे में आप लिखिए, आप ब्लॉग बनाइए, फेसबुक और आजकल का जो सोशल मीडिया है ये सब आप यूज कर सकते हैं फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ मेकिंग अवेयरनेस. These are the small programs which we organize for the students, and you can see these pictures. Can you imagine, ये जमीन पे रंगोली के रंगों से बनाए हुए चित्र हैं और बच्चों के द्वारा. So we can bring this to young generation very close towards the nature. और नेचर के नजदीक हम लेके आएंगे तो इन बच्चों को भी समझ में आएगा कि हमारी जरूरतें जो है इनको बचाने से ही है. पर्यावरण, जैव विविधता, इन सबको अगर हम बचाएंगे तो ही हमारा एग्जिस्टेंस है. Wildlife Week is celebrated. Nature does not need people, but we need it. So the only mantra is that we need to be their voice. Animals बात नहीं कर सकते हैं, but हम कर सकते हैं. प्रचार प्रसार अच्छे डायरेक्शन में अगर हम करें तो we can definitely conserve our biodiversity. Thank you so much, and I hope you all enjoyed.
Thank you so much, Dr. Suprana. It was so wonderful to hear you. And it's such a beautiful slide that was like totally planned. And definitely you saying that it had words like it's in anything. And the example comes from the conservation of wild animals from USA. And when Rakesh Carson said that the DDT is killing and DDT is not allowing the shells of the water to form, and America really tried it from DDT, and today we see a wonderful generation of all eagles. तो ऐसा लगता है जैसे इंसान बर्बाद कर गया, जिसको चाहता है उसको बता लेता है, जिसको चाहता है उसको मार देता है, हमारी हमारी भारत हमारी जो धरती माता है उसके लिए बहुत बहुत गलत चीज है. Anyways, it was so wonderful. If any questions, can we open the chat box, please? If any questions, ma'am, there's so much appreciation for you, and people really want to have your presentation. These slides and
Yeah,
slides.
sure.
And then
Sure.
we share your slides. So we can
Sure,
share your
definitely I will
presentation.
share, and I want you, each and every person, to contribute for this conservation.
Definitely, ma'am. And I think that is the mission of everyone and every city and every country. There is one environment, one family, and one earth. So we must save the environment. आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैडम. बस आपको
Thank you so much. Thank you.
इतना सुंदर कार्यक्रम किया. हमें जाना है. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I really apologize for the technical
No, not an issue. And I congratulate in advance for the success of this program. I would like to take leave now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. आपका पूरा इस प्रोग्राम की सबसे बड़ी support.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So now let's introduce our second keynote speaker. Our second keynote speaker is Dr. Jastinder Kaur. Dr. Jastinder Kaur is Head Department of Environmental Sciences, Ladapur Khalsa College, Chandran, Punjab, India. She is PhD in botany, and she has a teaching experience of 25 years and research experience of 10 years. She has many academic honors, awarded PG diploma in environmental management by registered in innovative program, teaching and research in interdisciplinary and emerging areas. Awarded first prize national conference on biotechnology for Pacific paper on synthetic seeds. Awarded rainwater harvesting project for 5.86 lakhs in 446. Awarded a minor project of solid waste management, conservation of biodiversity and climate change by Institute of Land Forest. Awarded UGC sponsored national seminar on rainwater harvesting in 2006. Awarded major research project on tissue culture studies by UGC. Delivered invited lectures to many seminar conferences and MDPs. And she has a book on her credit, environmental studies, book is based on environmental studies, a textbook on environmental studies for undergraduate students. Heartiest congratulations, ma'am. आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत, वंदन, अभिनंदन. बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है मैम आपको देख के, और without taking much time, I will request you to start your dedication. मैम आप अपने आप को अनम्यूट करिए प्लीज. मैम आप पहले अपने आप को अनम्यूट करिए, अपने आप को होस्ट बनाया है, माइक बनाओ हमको उससे क्लिक करिएगा.
Yes, warm greetings. Now mic is on. Thank you so much. Dr. Mamta, thank you so much. Warm greetings from the land of Punjab to one and all who are participating in the International Short-Term Training Program 9 related to the environment. First of all, I would like to congratulate Dr. Hukam Singh, Principal, Raj Rishi, Government Autonomous College, Alwar, Rajasthan, Dr. Mamta Sharma, Organizing Secretary, and their team for organizing 8 international short-term training programs very successfully for the upliftment of the environment. I'm grateful to the organizing committee who has given me opportunity to share my views related to the threats to aquatic ecosystems. Heartiest congratulations to the organizers who has chosen such a wonderful theme for this ISTTP-9, that is environment pollution, a threat to life below water. I really salute to the dynamic enthusiasm working behind these programs. So we are all participating in the World Environment Day Celebration Week 2023 in a very unique way. So good luck to all. I will try to contribute little bit of mine. It is not at all any achievement. I am learning from you people. You are really working in a very wonderful way. So salute to Dr. Hukam Singh, salute to Dr. Mamta Sharma and the entire team from the land of Punjab. May God bless you more enthusiasm. I wish every college principal should work like this. Then there is no path which can stop us to achieve the sustainable development of the environment. So I am switching over to my PowerPoint presentation. I hope so I will be able to do a little bit of mine. I think slideshow is clear.
Yes, yes, visible now.
It's clear, I think so, Dr. Mamta.
Yes, very good, madam.
So we are going to talk about water pollution, a threat to the aquatic ecosystem. So myself from the Lalpur Khalsa College, Jalandhar, is going to share about it. So we will start the watching the picture, the beautiful stingrays you are able to see, the beautiful dolphins you are able to see. The target and mission of this presentation is to conserve them. So that is the reason we all want these beautiful dolphins. They should be available for the coming generations also. So with that zeal, with that enthusiasm, I humbly start my presentation that let us have what are aquatic ecosystems. So a basic background is required for everyone that aquatic ecosystems, they are self-maintained, self-sustained, and self-regulated systems constituted by two basic components, that is abiotic and biotic component, in which dominant species are aquatic plants and aquatic animals. So the word self-maintained and self-sustained and self-regulated is very, very important here. It means all the aquatic ecosystems, they are working automatically. Then why they are not in proper position in today's date? It means something is wrong in their components. So that is the reason it is very important to understand the components of the ecosystem. Basically, we categorize all the aquatic ecosystems into two main groups: freshwater ecosystems, marine ecosystems. Freshwater ecosystems, they can be stagnant, they can be flowing. So when we see the water is standing, it is stagnant at one place. Example is ponds, wetlands. But when the water is flowing, but it is fresh, it is in the form of rivers or the streams. In the marine ecosystem, we may have deltas or the ocean, sea. It means marine water is available. So all these ecosystems needs to be conserved. So if we see the typical structure of any aquatic ecosystem, it may be pond, it may be lake, it may be ocean, it may be sea. It is always consisting of three basic zones. Upper zone, which is receiving the light, as you see in the picture. So which is receiving the sunlight, we call it light zone or the limnatic zone. It receives the maximum sunlight. That is the reason it is called light zone. But below the light zone, where the diffused light is available, sunlight is not available clearly, it is called middle zone, or technically it is called littoral zone. And at the base of any water body or any aquatic ecosystem, we are having dark zone or the basal zone, where there is no availability of the light. So it is the reason it is called dark zone. So any aquatic ecosystem is having two basic components, living and non-living, or we call it abiotic and biotic. So in the picture, you can see typical pond is there. So it means non-living component is including various factors. What is the heat component? what kind of light is available, what is the pH of the water, what could be the turbidity of the water, what is the dissolved oxygen content, what is the CO2 level present in the water body, or amount of the dissolved calcium, phosphate, or the nitrogen compounds. Similarly, the living component or the biotic component is mainly including three main things: producers, consumers, and decomposers. From the name itself, it is clear producers means green aquatic plants which are able to produce their own food using simple inorganic compounds like CO2 and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll through the process of photosynthesis. So it means for the complete success of any water body, we should have producers, means green aquatic plants. Then consumers are the aquatic animals which eat the green aquatic plants as the food so that it could be kept in balance. Both plants as well as the animals in the aquatic water body, they undergo death and decay. So they are eaten up by the decomposers, that is bacteria and fungi. It means why I am saying in the beginning that every ecosystem, every aquatic ecosystem, every water body is a self-maintained system because of its components. Means producers produce the food, consumer consume the aquatic plants. Both producers and consumers, they undergo death and decay, and that dead bodies are decomposed by the action of bacteria and fungi, that is decomposer. In this way, every ecosystem is working automatically, but there is no term human being here. So every aquatic ecosystem is complete or working automatically on the basis of its components. For example, we can see here the stagnant aquatic ecosystem, that is pond. We are having on the upper surface of the layer green algae, maximum planktons. These green algae, they are eaten up by small insects and the flies, and then they undergo death and decay. At the bottom, we are having fungi and bacteria. It means aquatic stagnant water ponds, they don't need any maintenance. They are self-maintained provided their components are complete. Similarly, we are able to see flowing aquatic ecosystem in the form of rivers. You can see how clean were the rivers. I am saying the term were because they were self-maintained and they were automatically cleaning themselves. Similarly, in the marine ecosystem, you can see beautiful corals or the reefs, fishes, marine animals because they are self-maintained marine ecosystems. Now, this basic background provides us information that we want to see all the aquatic ecosystems like this. But unfortunately, in today's date, you can see these things, they are not seen from that important point of view. Why we need aquatic ecosystems? Because they are of great economic importance to the mankind. They play a very important role. Rivers are the only source of fresh water drinking for the mankind. This water is needed for various domestic purposes for the mankind. They are source of fish food for the humans. We produce renewable source of energy, that is hydroelectric power, by the construction of dams on these rivers. They are source of water for irrigation in agriculture sector. We all get food from them. Wetlands are the source of recreational activities like boating, swimming, water parks. Above all, the oceans, to whom we consider as the seavers. Basically, they are vast variety of plants and animals which are of great economic importance. That is lobsters, we are having fishes, pearls, sea anemones, red algae, brown algae. They are providing us so many medicines, so many jellies. They are of great economic importance to all. This is the reason we must conserve the aquatic ecosystems. But unfortunately, what is happening? So I am now going to see the second side of the coin. We need beautiful aquatic ecosystems for the survival of Earth and mankind. But water is being polluted day by day, unfortunately, by the human activities only. So, what is water pollution? It is any undesirable change which is not liked by the mankind in the physical, chemical, and biological characteristics of the water, which make it unfit for the human use or the drinking, is called water pollution. Unfortunately, aquatic ecosystems, especially the rivers and oceans, they are being polluted day by day due to the human activities only. So when we are dumping the solid waste, untreated sewage into the water bodies, that is rivers and oceans, it is becoming a serious threat to the aquatic ecosystems. So this water pollution is mainly caused by two sources. Natural sources, we agree, due to the soil erosion, deposition of dead remains of plants or the animals, high-speed winds, floods, but all they are biodegradable pollutants. So nature is not playing that role in water pollution, but man-made activities, human activities, that is discharge of the industrial wastewater rich in toxins, rich in heavy metals, when released into the water bodies, they are causing a lot of damage. Domestic sewage rich in the organic matter is leading to waterborne diseases. Detergents, variety of soaps, shampoos, detergents being used in daily life activities, they are ending up into the oceans and causing the loss to the underneath life. Excessive use of chemical fertilizers, pesticides in the agriculture sector, they are source of water pollution by the mankind. We will take these all two sides of the coin parallel by studying two case studies. One case study of the fresh water, that is of Ganga, and another of the oil spills. So let us see what is Ganga. Ganga is a sacred river of the India. It is one of the largest river in India. We can't think life without Ganga, but it is under significant threat due to the human health, human activities. Ganga, it flows almost through 11 states of India. It has started to become seriously polluted in June 2014, when almost rupees 3,000 crores had been spent to clean up the Ganga. Main cause of this pollution was human activities, that is taking bath in the water bodies, throwing garbage in the water bodies. According to the statistical analysis, during the festival season, more than 70 million people take bath in Ganga. Many food materials, waste, leaves, flowers, they are also left in Ganga, which are responsible for pollution. Throwing of dead bodies, burnt ashes, they are also source behind the pollution of Ganga. So if we see this pie chart, major source of Ganga pollution is religious traditions. I don't mean to say there should not be religious tradition, but we don't manage them properly. So more than 50% contribution is by religious traditions, then 25% industrial waste, human waste, almost 10%, plastic and garbage, they are responsible for the contribute 5% of the Ganga pollution. So when we see the Ganga polluting day by day, what is the loss? We are losing Ganga dolphin. It is one of the few species of the freshwater dolphins in the world which we are losing due to the pollution of Ganga river. It is an endangered species with only current population less than 2,000 only. Then we are losing in the aquatic food web turtle species present in the Ganga, which are vulnerable to heavy metals present in the Ganga. So it means if we are continuously adding the heavy metals into the Ganga, these species are going to get affected. Now, what has been done and what is to be done to save the Ganga? Namami Ganga program was launched. Ganga Eco Task Force operated on cleansing of Ganga by spending almost 2,958 crores till July 2016 to clean up the Ganga. Then Namami Ganga Mission 2 was launched to boost up the maintenance of Ganga. Government of India allocated rupees 22,500 crore for Namami Ganga Mission 2 to rejuvenate. Now you can have the idea. If the Ganga is a self-maintained, self-sustained, self-regulated system, it is a natural ecosystem. If we human beings could have controlled the activities, this much economy could have been saved. Still, many new measures were taken. Setting up of the waste treatment plants was done, conservation of biotic diversity was done, development of public amenities was settled, ghat redevelopment was done, research and development, innovative projects were set up to further stop the pollution of the Ganga. But after that, we have come across lockdown. Now we were spending crores to clean the Ganga, but nature has done that task very brilliantly in the lockdown because everyone was inside the four walls. Human beings were not outside. So this picture, do the comparison. This is the picture before the lockdown. This is the level of Ganga water cleanliness level after the lockdown. So we can see the drastic change because Ganga is a fresh water flowing ecosystem. It can rejuvenate itself. It is the mankind only which destroys or pollutes the rivers, but we should not do like this because Ganga is a freshwater river which is giving us source of drinking water. So that means we human beings should work under controlled conditions. My opinion is there should be lockdown in every year for 2 months or 1 month at least, so that all the water bodies should be cleaned automatically. So this regulatory can be passed by the international platform. Now this was the case study of Ganga, that is fresh water. Now this is the source of marine ecosystem, second case study. Here the impact of oil spill, which was done by the Japanese bulk carrier. Slowly and slowly, this large cape-sized bulk carrier was leaking, or it was carrying the fuel oil. So according to the data provided by the media, this ship was loaded with 3896 tons of heavy fuel on the boat, and it was leaked in more than 14.58 square kilometer area of the reef flat. 5.52 square kilometer of the algae has been destroyed. The oil spread gradually to the nearby areas, and it has even damaged the north coast of Mauritius turbid water zone also. So single incident of the water spill has caused such a great damage. So it means not only in terms of the oil spill, it has caused the damage to the many sensitive species also. It has affected the seagrass, mangroves, mudflats, sand beaches, dunes, on as well as off the shore. The incident resulted in the death of dolphins, melon-headed whales, main species in the coral reef region, with countless number of sea otters and seabirds. How many species have been affected? How much marine life has been affected due to this single incident? The spill had an impact on filter feeders also, corals, crustaceans, mollusks. These are all categories of marine animals. Even a region considered of great international importance, that is Ramsar Convention on Wetlands, was badly affected by this spill. So we could have done something, or then mitigation measures were taken. The region was provided immediately technical equipments by the various countries, India, Japan, and France. They came as a support. Then graphene oil absorbent pads called sorbent pads were used to clean up preparation. More than 75% of the oil was cleaned by removing almost 1200 tons of the oil. 1300 cubic meters of liquid waste was pumped out. So what I mean to say, such kind of incidents could have been avoided if we are having the leak proof or the closely air packed oil containers. Story is not ending only with these two case studies. We are doing a lot of dumping of solid waste also into the water bodies. So you can see from the pictures, imagine these are the water cans, juice cans, which we are daily drinking, and they are reaching at the bottom of the sea. So solid waste is also directly affecting the aquatic life, which is entering into the oceans or the water bodies. So these unwanted, useless, discarded materials from our daily life activities, they are affecting the aquatic life. And I would like to particularly highlight plastic waste, electronic waste, and the nuclear waste, which are the major solid waste which needs immediate attention and it is need of the hour. So I would like to highlight this picture of the United Nations Environment Program. You can imagine how plastic pollution term has erupted, and particularly marine plastic pollution means life of the ocean. Marine plastic pollution has increased 10 times since 1980. It has affected at least 267 animal species, including 86% of marine turtles, 44% of seabirds, because these birds, they eat up these microplastics. 43% of marine mammals are being affected. Mammals means dolphins. So plastic waste is slowly and slowly entering into the marine pollution. So there is a need to explain what kind of plastic waste is entering into the oceans. We are having single-use plastics. Items like bottles, bags, straws, food packing materials contribute significantly to marine plastic pollution. So don't imagine I have thrown the bottle, it is lying over there only. It is reaching somewhere. Similarly, we are having fishing gears, discarded or lost fishing nets, lines, traps, make up a substantial portion of plastic waste and continue to endangle the marine life. Then another term is entering, microplastic is emerging. Larger pieces of the plastics, they are breaking up into tiny plastic particles, less than the size of 5 millimeter. It is called microplastics. They can come from the breakdown of larger plastic items, microbeads in personal care products, synthetic fibers, all those things which we flow or allow to flow with beads and all into the ocean. So efforts are being made globally to address this issue, including reducing plastic consumption, improving waste management systems, promoting recycling, and raising the awareness about the impact of plastic pollution on the environment because it is causing a lot of damage. So it means there is a threat to aquatic life due to the plastic waste. Don't take plastic waste easily. It is a serious threat to the aquatic life, means it is a serious threat to our water bodies. It is a serious threat to our water resources, which are very, very less. So plastic waste in the oceans, they have significant impact on the environment as well as on the marine life. So far the environment is concerned, there is accumulation of the plastic debris. It keeps on accumulating. Due to the ocean currents, it is forming large garbage patches in the Great Pacific Ocean. Then water is being contaminated by the plastic breakdown, that is microplastics. Slowly and slowly, water quality is being affected. Natural processes that is being affected because if there is plastic material, it is not permitting sunlight to go inside. It is not able to undergo photosynthesis. All the aquatic plants will die. Then consumers will be affected, means we are losing aquatic ecosystem and the nutrient cycling, or the food chain will be affected, which we can't afford. Now, this slide is showing the recent data of 2023 shown by the WHO, the pathway which plastic is entering into the world oceans, global scenario. So imagine 270 million tons of global primary plastic production is there in the world per year. 270 million tons is a very big figure. And from that, 275 million tons per year global plastic waste is being generated. Means there is more waste than the generation. Out of which 99.5 million tons coastal plastic pollution is there, plastic waste around the coastal areas near the sea. And we are having 31.9 million tons per year mismanaged coastal plastic waste, which we are not able to manage. And at the end of the day, 8 million tons per year, we are adding plastic into the oceans. So this is the way how plastic is entering into the oceans, and this data is very, very alarming. So it means we are having threat to the aquatic life, not only through the plastic waste, but the term electronic waste is more dangerous. All of you are having electronic gadgets in your hand. They are looking very smart. It is very good, but it is very important to understand disposal of electronic waste. So what are the various threats to aquatic life due to electronic waste? All of you know electronic waste, they poses serious threats. Why? Because they have various toxic substances, including lead, mercury, cadmium, brominated flame retardants, PVC. When this electronic waste is dumped into oceans, most of the countries, they are buying Indian oceans to dump the electronic waste. I'm sorry to add the figure, we should not dump. It can leach into the water, pollute the water, pose a serious threat to the marine life, which we have seen beautiful pictures in the beginning that is being affected. So to address the impact of electronic waste in the aquatic ecosystem, it is very, very crucial to promote the responsible e-waste management practices. Don't stop the electronic gadgets. Responsible e-waste management is the need of the hour. Then implementing proper recycling and disposable methods. Public must be made aware about the hazardous effects of e-waste. We should encourage the reuse of the electronic devices. Refurbishment should be done of the electronic devices to minimize the environmental footprint. So carbon footprint, now electronic environmental footprint is another term which is emerging. So we have to be very, very conscious about the electronic waste and the plastic waste. So this slide indicates how much electronic waste is in the sea. In the recent year, it has highlighted the different concentrations and amounts of the e-waste being generated into the water bodies. The maximum contribution is by metals, 60%. They are in the sea. Number 2, plastics. 15.21% plastic is present in the marine life, marine water, marine ecosystems. Then comes saccharines, cathode ray tubes, and liquid crystal display. Then metal plastic mixtures are there, pollutants are there, cables are there, metals are there, printed circuit boards are there. They are contributing the electronic waste in the marine system. So there is need to understand the threats of nuclear waste also. We are permitting everyone to do the radioactive experiments in the seawater. So firstly, we have discussed plastic waste threat, then electronic waste, but nuclear waste term is most disastrous because radioactive materials, they are contaminating the water bodies if they are not managed properly. They are releasing ionizing radiations, which are harmful to humans, animals, as well as environment. So when we do not dispose the nuclear waste properly, they can result in the leakage of radioactive materials even into the underground water. It can contaminate and pose significant threats to both aquatic ecosystems and drinking water supply. So radioactive contamination in Punjab also, we are having cancer belt completely, where there is uranium deposition in the groundwater. So radioactive contamination can accumulate, it can disrupt the food chain, and there could be entry into the food chain, and it can cause the accumulation or biological magnification also. Examples of DDT, BHC, mercury are very, very predominant. Everyone knows mini-meta disease due to the accumulation of mercury in the food chain. That fish which is eating the mercury, we are also eating. Similarly, these ionizing radiations, they are posing serious threats. of the risk of cancer, including the leukemia, bone cancer, even the nervous disorders, immune system suppression, and the developmental abnormalities. So to mitigate the impact of nuclear waste, it is essential to handle and manage the nuclear waste with utmost care. We must adhere to the strict safety protocols. Proper storage facilities, such as underground repositories, are designed to minimize the risk of leakage or the release. Regular monitoring is required, testing and regulations are necessary to ensure the safety of water bodies and the surrounding environment. So this is proved by the Yale University in 2023 in the recent data. These are the samples of only March 2023 that we are having alarming concentrations of the cesium-137 in the coastal waters. So that is the reason there is a need to create awareness among the public as well as in the authorities so that we can check the nuclear waste pollution in the coastal waters or the marine ecosystems. Besides this, we are having threats from the solid waste also. In general, everyone needs home to live, but the plastic, electronic, and nuclear waste, they cause major impact on the life underwater also. It is leading to habitat destruction. When we throw the plastic bags, bottles, debris, they enter into the water bodies, they cause physical damage to the aquatic habitats. All the corals, seagrasses, or the marine animals, their habitats is destroyed. So this leads to loss of biodiversity. So when there is no place to live, how can they survive? So it means we must maintain the habitats of these marine animals or the freshwater animals or the aquatic animals. We should stop them at the source of generation. Then groundwater contamination must be checked. Water contamination must be checked to reduce the entry of heavy metals, chemicals, pollutants. Then when these aquatic species, they are entangled in these cables or the plastic bottles, marine mammals like sea turtles, seabirds, they die off there. They got injuries, they get drowned, they get restricted movement, and ultimately they lead to untimely death. So all these food chains, they leads to biomagnification also. Supposing one fish has eaten the microplastic, that has been eaten by the next member, it is keeping increase in the concentration. So that is leading to biomagnification or the accumulation of toxins into the food chains. So this slide can give you the alarming picture of the future of mankind. Basic food chain includes producers, consumers, then the man. Means we are eating the green plants, they are eaten by the animals, then we eat the plants or the animals as the food. But this is our future. This slide needs to be focused. We are eating microplastics. How? Because fish is eating the microplastics. We are eating the fish. And we are having authentic reports that more than 100 microgram of microplastic is eaten by everyone in 1 year. So now future is, you can decide it better. We should stop using single-use plastics. We should stop generating. We should stop throwing. What to do or what to eat, what not to eat. This slide is a future of mankind. Now, what to do? Certain mitigation measures are needed to end up all these. Number one, there should be source reduction. Most effective is source where the amount of waste generated, it should be totally, there should be promotion of reusable products. There should be eco-friendly materials. We should stop the use of plastics, especially non-biodegradable plastics. So eco-friendly products, reusable products, they will encourage and they will reduce the amount of plastic waste. Then waste management infrastructure should be introduced. So adequate waste collection should be done, recycling should be done, disposal should be done in a proper way to ensure this thing waste should not end up in the rivers or lakes or the ocean. Public awareness must be done. People should be made aware. They should be created awareness to understand the consequences of their actions. They should be encouraged to have 4R practice: reuse, reduce, recycle, repair, and then proper disposal of the waste. Waterways and coastal cleanup programs must be very, very regular in the coastal areas to avoid the entry of solid waste into the waterways or the coastal areas. Then we can introduce green infrastructure. In spite of having the plastic borders, vegetated buffers, green borders, green belts can be created around the water bodies. They can absorb the uh, or they can trap the pollutants, they can filter the pollutants, and there will be no entry into the aquatic ecosystems. Then the regulatory measures must be there by the government as well as the non-government agencies that can play a very crucial role. We should implement and enforce the regulations. No doubt we are having Environment Protection Act also, but the implement part is needed to be implemented in toto. That promote responsible waste management. There should be blanket ban on or restrict the use of certain types of plastic products, as we must say no to the polythene bags, but no one is saying. Still we are using it, and that has to be stopped somewhere to restrict the issue at the broader scale. Then adding more threat to the aquatic life, that is thermal power plants. So thermal power plants are the main plants which we use to generate the hydroelectric power. But it is causing thermal pollution. We are using the water we are producing the steam, and we are discharging the hot water, means it is heat factor into the same water body, and then it is directly killing the aquatic life. So thermal pollution has to be checked. It is decreasing the oxygen level. What I mean to say, we can handle the thermal power plants also in a smart way by introducing the cooling systems or the other systems. So thermal power plants can be replaced. We can stop this kind of or we can promote the solar energy, wind energy, hydropower significantly. So let us see what are the solutions to this. So we have got the overall scenario of the aquatic ecosystems, but ultimately what to do with the solutions. Everyone wants the solution. So solution is, no doubt we should learn new techniques to share the different problems. So let us pledge, all of us, do not take bath in the water bodies. Do not wash clothes in the ponds. It is very much possible by all the human beings. We should not take the bath in the streams that supply the drinking water. There should be separate ponds and tanks for the wild animals and cattle for drinking water. Domestic and industrial wastewater should be treated before the disposal. Overuse of the fertilizer and excessive pesticides should be replaced with the biofertilizer and biopesticides. Cooling towers can be introduced. Then one of the important technique, that is phytoremediation, can be introduced. What is phytoremediation? It is uptake of the heavy metals using the plants, especially like plants water hyacinth. Means we can uptake the heavy metals before the discharge of the industrial wastewater, and the same metal can be segregated by different methods. Similarly, bioremediation is very important technique which can uptake the heavy metal pollutants through living organisms that can be used to minimize the industrial wastewater pollution. Then wastewater should be treated with effluent treatment plants. We are having the number of treatments. Primary treatment, secondary treatment, tertiary treatment can be done, which can reduce the water pollution. Then one of the important term is eutrophication. Excessive chemical fertilizers, they are adding large amount of nitrogen content into the water bodies. It is leading to death of the lakes, rivers, and the wetlands. So what is eutrophication? It is excessive algal growth on the surface of the water bodies. It is killing the wetlands or the aquatic ecosystem. So we should stop the nitrogenous fertilizers especially. So in the end, I would like to conclude that this beautiful marine ecosystem should be maintained. That is the reason we should not add the electronic waste, plastic waste, nuclear waste into these ecosystems. Now we understand they are self-maintained, self-sustained, and they are automatically working ecosystems. From this, we can carry one simple message: save water, save life. So we can maintain, we can save all the ecosystems if we human beings should keep a check upon our activities. So with these terms, I'm really thankful to the audience for the patience hearing. If there is any doubt or if there is any point anyone want to share, you want to ask anything, I would love to share with you.
Open the chat box, please, if any questions we can see. Great session, ma'am. As the appreciation for you, and it was so amazing presentation and presentation. वो आपकी slide थी, madam, sessions वाली, it was touching my heart. वहाँ पे bio concentration और biomagnification देख रहे हैं. So I think we environmentalists share that kind of, कि फोटो से भी हम कोरिलेट करते थे कि हम क्या बोल रहे हैं और क्या सोच रहे हैं. It was so beautiful presentation. मैम बहुत बहुत साधुवाद आपको. बहुत सारी एप्रिसिएशन है मेरी स्लाइड पे, वो बहुत सारी और इमोजीज चल रहे हैं आपके लिए मैम. It was such a pleasure आपका यहाँ होना हमारे लिए. And what you said is so right. हमने तो कुछ भी नहीं छोड़ा, ना धरती को छोड़ा, ना पानी को छोड़ा. मैं कल एक बात कह रही थी, जब आप बोलते थे तो कोई बात मेरे दिमाग में आ रही थी कि क्या कॉमन है मारियाना ट्रेंच, which is the deepest hole on the earth, और माउंट एवरेस्ट, which is the highest peak above. दोनों जगह इंसान तो नहीं पहुंच पाता मैडम, पर प्लास्टिक
So, okay, we will say no to the plastics.
Very nice, beautiful presentation. If no more questions, I would like to call upon our patron principal, Dr. Uttam Singh ji, for the thank you note. Sir, आपका स्वागत वंदन अभिनंदन principal sir. Stage is all yours. Camera, sir, please.
राजस्थान के सिंह द्वार और राजस्थान की दुनिया में सरिस्का टाइगर रेलू के नाम से ये मत्स्य क्षेत्र मत्स्य संचल की राजऋषि महाविद्यालय के सहारा से महाविद्यालय परिवार की ओर से डॉक्टर फातिमा सुल्तान प्रोफेसर एंड गवर्नमेंट कोटा राजस्थान आपका और डॉक्टर जसविंदर कौर एंड एनवायरमेंटल साइंस लायलपुर खालसा कॉलेज ऑफ इंडिया आप दोनों प्रोफेसर साहेबानों का महाविद्यालय परिवार हार्दिक स्वागत हार्दिक अभिनंदन। आप जैसे मनुष्यों के सहयोग से हम इस तरह के कार्यक्रम किसी भी कार्यक्रम में वक्ता और उस कार्यक्रम को सुनने के लिए नितांत आवश्यकता होती। हमारे तीनों स्पीकर्स और साथ में देश देशों से 2,500 प्रतिभागियों का आप सभी का महाविद्यालय और इस कार्यक्रम को अमली जामा पहनाने वाली मेरे महाविद्यालय की दूसरी प्रोफेसर ममता शर्मा आपका और तकनीक सहयोग प्रदान करने वाली टीम शीतल गुप्ता और श्री शर्मा का आप सबकी साधुवाद देता हूं और मुझे आज अच्छा लगा। कभी कभी कुछ चीजें सामने आना हमारे आयुक्तालय में पदस्थ विद्वान प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर सुरेंद्र यादव जी इस कार्यक्रम से जुड़े अच्छा लगा। आपके प्रति साधुवाद व्यक्त करता हूँ। निश्चित रूप से जब अच्छे हो हमारा स्वतः ही उच्च हो जाता है और जब मनोबल उच्च होता है कार्यक्रम में जी जान लगा है उसको जुड़ जाए बोले आप
Thank you so much, sir. Your words of motivation and presence makes us very much motivated and make us to work better. Thank you so much for your presence and your presence and your appreciation. आपका होना ही हमारी बहुत बड़ी सफलता है और मैं ऐसी आशा करती हूँ कि आप बस इसी तरह से हमें अपना आशीर्वाद बनाए रखेंगे। एक आखिरी चीज जो मैं पार्टिसिपेंट्स के साथ बात करना चाहूंगी कि क्लाइमेट चेंज we face today arises from the accumulated results of 2 centuries of unsustainable development. Unsustainable industrial development, unsustainable energy production, unsustainable land use, unsustainable lifestyles and consumption patterns. In short, from the use of the global atmosphere as a free good without consideration of the consequences, water environment, the economy or the future generations. Meanwhile, millions of people living in poverty and are seeking the better life in which they are entitled. Even though repeating yesteryear's mistakes. More than 400 million tons of plastic is produced every year worldwide, half of which is designed to be used only once. Of that, less than 10% is recycled. तो मेरे कहने का सिर्फ एक यही मतलब है कि जब आप घर से निकले तो अपने इलेक्ट्रिसिटी स्विचेस को बंद कर दें। जब आप अपने वॉशरूम्स में जाएं और पानी के नल को यूज करें तो यूज करने के बाद प्लीज बंद करें। Next time, whenever you buying a plastic product, whenever you are buying a plastic product, think twice before buying. अब वो समय आ चुका है कि जब हम थिंक ग्लोबली और वर्क ग्लोबली करें, क्योंकि मैं बार-बार बोल रही हूँ एक चीज और एक महात्मा गांधी जी की एक बात मैं बार-बार रिपीट करती हूँ कि अर्थ हैज गॉट इनफ पावर टू फुलफिल मैन्स नीड बट नॉट मैन्स ग्रीड। धरती हमारी जरूरतों को पूरा कर सकती है हमारे लालच को। So please use all the resources of nature judiciously. जितना जुडिशली आप उसे यूज करेंगे वो उतने लंबे टाइम तक आपके साथ। हमें एक चीज और हमेशा याद करनी चाहिए कि ये जो पर्यावरण है, ये जो अर्थ है, ये जो हमारी धरती है, ये हमें अपने ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स से मिलिए रहने के लिए और हमें इसे इसी अवस्था में अपने फ्यूचर जनरेशंस को देना है। हम ये भूल जाते हैं कि हमारे बाद भी यहाँ पे। With this note, I would like to tell all the participants you have to do 3 things presently. Please do the registration. Please fill the feedback form. Please submit your home assignment. If you fail in doing any one of the things, we will not be able to provide you the certificate as per the UGC norms. Because as soon as I release the certificates, my WhatsApp get blasted. The map certificate नहीं है, my certificate is missing. And एक और चीज मैं आपको बताना चाहती हूँ कि हमारी जो पूरी FTP है, हम इसमें कागज नहीं यूज करते, हम इसे टोटली क्लाउड पे करते हैं। तो जो हमारे सर्टिफिकेट्स हैं, वो भी हमारे ऑनलाइन बनते हैं। हम मेन मल्टिक से आपके सर्टिफिकेट्स बनाते हैं। कोई भी एक फील्ड अगर आपके नाम के आगे से मिस है, कि आपने रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं किया, या आपने होम असाइनमेंट नहीं सबमिट किया, या आपने पेपर फॉर्म नहीं भरा, या आपने रेगुलर अटेंडेंस नहीं लगा, we expect 80% attendance from every participant. अगर इन चारों में से कोई भी एक चीज मिसिंग है तो हमारा प्रोग्राम आपके सर्टिफिकेट को जनरेट नहीं करेगा और हम कोई भी सर्टिफिकेट मैनुअली नहीं बना। हाँ, एक में क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे देख लीजिए, प्लीज शेयर द शेड्यूल। मैम एवरी डे 11 o'clock we start the program। आप सबसे मेरी गुजारिश है कि आप 10:45 में लॉग इन करें। So with this we come to the end of second day of ISTTP-9, and I would like to thank my heartfelt thanks to all the speakers who are very learned and knowledgeable scientists of their field, and they have spared their valuable time with us here in this training program. I would like to thank all the speakers that we, the organizers and participants, are very, very happy and delighted to have you all here with us. And I really hope that you all had a wonderful time too, like we had. So now this Dr. Mamta Sharma, Organizing Secretary for the International Short-Term Training Program 9, with my veteran Professor Dr. Vikram Singh Ji, my IT team, Sheetal and Rishi, signing off from this beautiful community hall of Raj Rishi College, Alberta. We will meet tomorrow sharp at 10:45 a.m. with a new body of speakers and having a lot of knowledge and a lot of work to talk about that. So stay safe, stay blessed. You all are beautiful, wonderful people. See you all tomorrow. Till then, bye-bye. Have a wonderful day, rest of the day. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. So we can off the meet now.